All right, hey, we're back. It's been a few days. I love my morning art streams, so give me a second here to check my signal and see if I'm coming through. We're gonna settle in and get some work done here for a little bit. Oh, great! Sounds like my volume's coming through loud and crisp. So thanks for the request to have the volume raised up. I think I'm coming through strong and clear for folks now, so very happy about that. I'm going to do some social media posting here real fast. So, hey, my name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games, I illustrate them, and I publish online. I am currently creating an adventure for Eberron using 5th edition. It's called Crystals of Mavar. It's for 4 to 5 characters, level 7 to 8. And it's fighting necromancers and undead and demons in the Carnwood of Karnath on the continent of Corvair. Ah, good times, man. Yeah, there's cultists that are trying to create a plane, basically a manifest zone to the plane of undeath and darkness, and at the core of it, a portal a two-way portal will open that will allow free passage to that plane directly. They're just using it as a money operation. The crystals that the soil turns into, crystals of Mabar, they can be crumbled, they can be crushed and alchemicaled to be material components for necromancy and darkness spells. There's mushrooms that can be brewed into like night vision potions. There's moss that can be poison. There's an antitoxin that can be brewed from the stuff. So there's a lot of fun alchemical stuff that can be found in here. The material component stuff for rituals and casting spells. It's a necromancer's dream, man. It's literally just fields of alchemical formulae waiting to be harvested and produced, much like poppy fields would be. So, big operation, mercenaries protecting the area, undead coming to life. It's being performed in an old necromancy research facility. So there's literally hundreds of unmarked graves in the region that the energies of a bar animate and have them rise up, some at a time. So there's waves of undead that come through. The village that's asking for your help gets attacked by a swarm of undead at one point, either before or after the characters arrive. Sometimes both, if you really wanted to. And then as the manifest zone continues to grow in power and you get closer to the nexus, more powerful creatures appear, like chain devils and like shades, revenants, wights, and you eventually get into Yugoloths. So it can escalate. You can play it out to run longer than just level 8 if you want to, just to expand on the adventure. And we have a lot of ways to actually continue beyond the context of this adventure, which might be a really fun way for us to create additional content in the future. It's a location based dungeon or adventure. There's basically 2 major map regions: outside the forest and then in the forest. Inside the forest is where the manifest zone is. So every part of the adventure is themed around a specific location. So if you want to extract elements of that and use it in other adventures, you can literally just lift them out of the book and drop them into any campaign setting that you want. There are numerous maps that we've been creating over the past year, and there are many optional encounters and random encounter tables. So all the maps can be used to stand alone with the content in the book. Each page of the book. Let me actually finish up getting things up and running, and then I'll just show you instead of telling you about it. So, for those that are on the X Twitter platform, still, my name is I'm at Phil Kearney. Where I post when I'm live, different things I'm creating and stuff like that. Here's today's promo art. So so if you're on the X Twitter platform, you can join me here at Phil Kearney. For those that are catching me here on YouTube, thanks a lot for being here, guys. I really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications. We have more subscribers than we had last time we were here. That's awesome. Thanks a lot for folks supporting the work that I do. All the 337 episodes are here in the list. You can see me creating all the maps, tokens, and stuff, the design work. We did most of the design of this adventure off screen, but the Martial Powers book that I'm creating, we've been building that all the creative, like the ideation, coding, playtesting, editing, layout, artwork. Martial Powers will be the first book that I do that entire process with. And this is we're at the back end of the Eberron adventure at this point, where the adventure is written, it's tested, it works. Now we're building the artwork for it. So here's a stack of other books that I've created on the DMsGuild already. You can check those all out. Subclasses Revivified is the most recent project that I participated in. It just went silver medal. The medal's yet to click over. It just went over. But this is all the 69 subclasses that were not included in the 2024 Player's Handbook. Me and a slew of other people that have done a lot of work on the DMsGuild. We just got together real quick and slammed this out. And if you check out my Martial Power stream, the Forsaken Monks, that was when we were actually designing this for the book. So, let's see. Having said that, having seen this, thanks a lot for being here, guys. So today, like the title card said, we're creating page art. So I'm going to, this is the book cover that you'll see on DMsGuild once it goes live. And of course, I'll be shouting from the rafters about it. So, but we're going to open a new document. So we're going to open here. We're going to go down to Crystals of Mabar. And let's see. This is the piece. This is the first 7 pages and the last 26 pages of the document are done and ready for page art. There's 3 parts of the adventure. Part 1, the village and forest. Part 2, inside the manifest zone, where there's the graveyard, the flooded fort, and the gatehouse. Those are 3 different set location-based dungeons that the characters can mess around with inside the adventure. You don't necessarily need to go to all 3 of them, but if you visit over a number of days, you can. So these are all ready to go. The pages between the front 7 and the back 26, those 3, and then underground is the underground research facility, which is its own dungeon complex. So those are the 3 parts: the forest and the village and forest, the manifest zone, and the dungeons that lead to the facility, and then actually inside the facility is part 3. So each one of those are the separate chunks. That's between the first 7 and the last 27. So I'm still working on the layouts for those. But if you've been here for a little while, you know that it can take many hours to complete a single illustration. So I may as well get started on the art here, and as we continue pieces of the document, we'll just keep adding them to the mix and working on them. So I am currently opening the first 7 pages of the PDF. Hold on, let me show you. Actually, that makes sense. Let me show you the PDF here, and then Crystals of Mabar. Okay, so here's how, this is the PDF currently. And as I've shown before, I think you can see the full page of it here, right? Not quite. Okay, hold on. Okay, let me see if I can just push this over a bit here, like that. Is that sufficient? Not quite. Hold on. I'm being nitpicky. I just want you to see the full thing. So I don't remember where the edge of my screen is at. So, okay, there it is. Okay, whole thing's on screen now. So here, and let's, no Kearney. Thank you, 20-minute timer. I fussed with my setup. Hold on real quick. Okay, there, and that should be good now. Okay, yeah, that's good now. Okay, cool. So let's expand this page. Okay, so you can see that this page, its format. Normally, if I wasn't streaming, I would be able to make this larger, but since I'm trying to make sure it stays just on the surface area here. This is a 10-inch tall, 17-inch wide page that can be printed out in black and white on a with a laser printer. So it's black and white. So all these horizontally like this, it fits in the size. I've talked about this already. You can see the entire page on the horizontal alignment of a tablet or a phone. So, and if you turn it up horizontally, you can zoom in and you would see only the one column at a time. And so here on the desktop, this horizontal alignment like this. This is large enough for me to be able. I get the screen to set like this. There you go. So you can see how that column lines up inside that space. This is sufficient for me to be able to read it myself. The plane shift spell can deliver the characters within the manifest zone near Act 2, Region 4, Gatehouse if the DM wants to shorten. So yeah, I can read this, and I'm pretty damn blind, which means that anyone else, I've got 2200 vision. It's a tenth of the normal person's range, which means that this text is plenty sufficient for anyone to be able to read with. So that is fantastic news. So we have the layouts here, but it's obviously it doesn't have any coloration, doesn't have any page numbers or anything like that. So we want to import this into Photoshop and start. We paint directly on the page. So going back to Photoshop here, we've picked out our first 7 pages. You can see here, 10 inches tall, 17 inches wide. That's plenty of space. What it's going to do now is it's going to open up each of those pages from the PDF here as a separate document. This is reading as page 7, so I'm going to peel this off as its own window. I want to drop that down to here. And then here's page 6, and I want to drop that down to here. And here's page 5. So I want to make this little cascade of windows, so I can pull them all into 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, there you go, page 2. And this is the last page in the document. So that's page 1. When I go to here, I'm going to Control Select and then copy off of this window. The whole thing now is highlighted. Now I go back to this window and then I paste into place, and this becomes page 2. And I can then come back here to page 2, and I can, if I can get my mouse to freaking work, there we go. Stop and equals, do I want to save changes? Equals no. Now we're on page 3 again. So now I can highlight that, copy, drop back to here, paste in place, and then I can close this out. No need to save it. And then I just go through this process every page until they're all stacked up, and then we can consolidate it into a single document. Copy, paste, X, remove, copy. This is production. So this is just the specific steps, like this is exactly how I do it every time. So if there's a better way, I don't know. It doesn't matter. This is the way that I do it. So, okay, great. All of those windows have now been consolidated into the same document. I can now come into here, save as on my computer, download documents, Crystals in the Bar, artwork, Act 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's open a new folder. This is going to be new folder, production. And we're going to call the document, it's a Photoshop PSD file right now. Let's call it something imaginative, page 1 to 7. There. So now we have, I will go through and go page 7, page 6, page 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it's transparent right now because when I created the Word document, I left the page color transparent. So when we export it as a PDF and import it here into Photoshop, since this background is transparent, there is no information there. So we have the blank canvas background blarble. So we're going to replace that now with a new folder here, a new layer here, and we're going to start with just pure white. So now you can see all of the pages that are transparent with each other that are stacked up. This then becomes the effective. Here, I'm going to drop that one out just so you can see it more consistently across the document. That we've already, obviously in the Word document, we established the borders that we want for the margins for the pages. And you can see that we can use this now as the space for the footers and headers, and we can do page trim filigree and form the artistic look of the document, and then pick up this back end, that background element, and just drop in new pages in the future, and we'll feed in on top of it. We'll do a texture with some color to break up the monotony of the white. Keeping in mind that when we finish this document, we'll have it as a PDF with a blank background and just black text that you could use as a printer-friendly version if you want to feed 10 by 11 page, legal size, 11 by 17 pages through here. It'll come out. It'll come out one page at a time. Yeah. And so the way that the document is built, if you've looked at it with us before, each single, from the very beginning, each column are self-contained thoughts. So we have our introduction here, we have our table of contents and our legal bits down here. We have credits and the book cover here. And I had to make the book cover this size because that's the size, that's the ratio that the book cover needs to be presented on as the cover art on the DMsGuild.com website. So I used the bottom. It's only 8.5 by 11 in true dimensions, but this is a 5.5 inch column. So I had to shrink it down from 8.5 down to 5.5, which means this is more like 6.5 or 7 inches tall, like 6.5, 6.75 inches, which leaves like 3 and some odd inches here at the bottom that we can fill in just basic credits. So the table of contents, introduction, which is basically what this thing does. I'm still writing it, which is why it's a mess like that, but there's no illustrations on this page other than the cover already. And then down here I'll have, thanks a lot for buying this thing, and then I'll have all of my company information here, and then my logo will be here on the second page. And then moving forward from there, but those are self-contained thoughts. Right, here's the adventure background. Here is just information about like history in the region, and then here's current operations, and then there's an artifact involved. So here's the plans of the artifact that are involved. And then on the next page here, we're looking at the 3 significant factions that are in the adventure: the Emerald Claw Necromancers, the Red Wolf Company mercenaries that they've hired, and the local villagers that kick off the adventure. So those are self-contained thoughts. And then the locations, this blank space we can fill up with a location map that we have, like the regional map. So this is saying there's basically three different locations in the adventure. Part 1 is one location. Here's part 2 location. Here's part 3. So the map that we build out will have, point to all the different bits inside of here. But again, that page is a self-contained thought. Plot hooks. There's a number of alternate plot hooks. We can have a plot hook map for progression through the adventure, and then actually running the adventure self-contained. Like, these are the different ways that the adventure content can be used as part of an ongoing campaign, as a single adventure, or just tearing the book apart as a toolkit like we had talked about before. But those are self-contained thoughts. Then we have short and long rests, like when is it appropriate, or how easy will it be for them to have rests during the adventure, and how many they need is going to be based on how you're actually running the adventure. So if it's a single adventure, it's like a single session, then like you're probably not going to have any long rest. So you want to start them at the end of the adventure where they can get it all done with one short rest. If it's part of an ongoing campaign, you can start them further away from the end of the adventure, and it takes more time for them to consume the content, so they have time to take long rests and embed them in the area as part of the campaign. And then short and long rest, and then the weather conditions throughout the adventure, visibility, the climate, the wind, precipitation, visibility, tokens that are involved. So like throughout the adventure, regions and areas are considered to have bright light unless indicated otherwise by the corresponding symbols listed below. So and when we go through the adventure in the different parts and the different regions and areas within the regions, we'll have these little monikers here that'll flag to you. Is it dim light? Is it darkness? Is it bright light? Obscure? We'll mention it. We mention it in the adventure text, but these become quick tags that makes it easier for you to be able to, as a DM, remember like what hazards and conditions are present in the area for the DM to keep in mind. So we have specific symbols for each of these conditions and terrain effects that the team could have to deal with. So again, all self-isolated thoughts. And then we have actually starting the adventure, where your characters are deputized to go investigate complaints from a distant new village that's along the edge of the Carnwood. And apparently there's some people that have gone missing at this point. So here's the missing people. And then the goals of the adventure, like what are you trying to do here? What bonus resources do you gain from the Fort Bastion that deputizes you, or the villagers that are willing to help you? And then if you're successful with finding out what's going on and discovering the missing villagers, the village is willing to give you rewards. And then there's additional options involving with the adventure here that are described below. So that's the first chunk of the adventure, and each of these, so these are all the thoughts that are used to set up how the adventure works and what you should be thinking about as a DM. And all these blank spots on these pages are where we can drop illustrations for stuff. So the idea here is for us to start going through here and mapping out, or just like doing some, just starting to do the doodle work that goes into creating these pages. So we have the document saved here. Over the course of this, we'll start figuring out what we want the background, like the color wash, the texture of the page to look like, because we don't want it just to stay blank white. But I also don't necessarily want to leave the text in the final document just to be black either. Typically, we use a black is 000, white is 255, 255, 255 up here in the color picker color tool up here. So most of the time, the text in the way that I've been doing my page dressing is the fonts, the general body font is 80, 80, 80, not 000. That's 1/3 of the way to black. So it's 1/3 heavy, dark gray. And title blocks like this, adventure background, that would be 40, 40, 40. So 000 would be black, 40, 40, 40 is the headings, 80, 80, 80 is the body text. So it's not so harsh. And the text background, the page background tends to be somewhere around 150 to 200. So there's no hard white, no hard black on the PDF. So it's more, since there's light coming from the screen, reducing the amount of white that your eye is constantly absorbing helps to make it more relaxed. Here, I'll show you an example. Let's go down to the Pacts and Patrons of Ravnica that I published on DMsGuild. This is a book that converts the 10 guilds of Ravnica into Warlock patrons. And you can see here, this is that 80, this is the 40, the 40, 40, 40 dark font here. And this is the 80, 80, 80 body of font. And this background is somewhere like, I think around 180 or 200. Compare that to the harshness of the text here. This is very This is literally the highest degree of contrast that you can have on a page, black and white, literal black and white, versus there. This is a far more relaxed. Oh, I almost want to say like smoky sort of look, and you can see there's a little bit of dichotomy, like a very mild taste of difference in background, the page background, and then the stripe here to help differentiate the table when you're looking at tables like this. So it's not very heavy; it's very subtle. But again, we're not trying to make it difficult on the eye to absorb this information at any time. So, and you can see here we drop in the illustrations like that. And so we could adopt a similar format. We're going to be rebuilding this whole book for 2024. I've reached out to the other authors, of the other writers I had involved with this, and waiting to see if they're interested in participating. And I think we'll probably be starting in on this, I think, on Saturday. So let's get this out of the way for now. You can check that book out. All my books are free preview like that. So ultimately, we're going to be dropping this down. So we're going to be designing the background art here. But for now, I just want to play a little bit. I just want to play today. So page 1 doesn't really need any illustrations unto itself, other than I'll be dropping my Izzet logo in here that I've been using. So page 1 doesn't need anything. We're going to make folders now for all of these. I'm going to call that folder 7, and this is going to be folder 6, folder 5, folder 4. So we separate each page into its separate folders so we can paint. The art that we add in is going to be relevant to that specific page. So we're just doing organization, just to keep things aligned properly. So we can add all of these visibilities back in here like that, and then close them up here like this, and then conceal, 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 and the page. I'm currently very confused. Normal. What the hell happened with this? Why is that text faded like that? What did I do? All right, I'm just gonna add this page back in. That's weird. I'm just gonna grab page 2 again. I don't know what's up with that guy. Seriously, what is going on with that? There's what happened? What's causing that to fade? Okay, there's something cursed about that folder, so I'm just gonna remove that. All right, is anything else possessed? Like, there was something possessed there, dude. Yeah. So literally for now, I'm just doing doodles, and we're just doing sketches and stuff, just try to get a feel for the page. So I'm gonna put a lock on the text layer, and I'm going to launch a new layer as black and white, and that's all we're doing. We're just operating in black and white right now. What are we looking at here? So the far east reaches of the Karnwood was once home to the most powerful manifest zone in Karnath, connected to Mabar. The Endless Night, prior to the last war, an underground research facility dedicated to advancing necromantic understanding, was created at the center of the manifest zone. After a catastrophic event depleted the region of planar energy, the facility was shut down, and details of its location was buried within the archives of Ader Academy. Aether Academy in Karnath is the foremost institute dedicated to necromancy in the Five Nations. The institute holds vast knowledge of the arcane arts, and its archives are full of esoteric information, enchantments, and powerful artifacts. One artifact in particular is the Eye of Mabar, a sphere of black crystal formed from the darkness of Mabar itself millennia ago. The artifact channels dark necromantic energies to open paths between Mabar and Eberron where they connect within a manifest zone. Centuries ago, a group of Karnathi necromancers developed rituals using the eye to open a permanent portal between Eberron and Mabar within the Karnwood, but no one survived and the manifest zone collapsed. So see, we're providing you with context here. A cult of necromancers known as the Emerald Claw recently raided the Aether Academy archives, stealing the eye. They've taken it to the abandoned research facility now guarded by mercenaries to awaken the dormant manifest zone again and complete the ritual. So that's our first thought here. And so the rest of the page, just for context, the ritual requires 46 days to complete and periodically requires the sacrifice of sentient creatures. The cultists planned to occasionally kill a mercenary and blame it on roaming undead. However, when Solzu scouted... have we mentioned his name? Oh god, I think I need to... Solzu isn't actually mentioned until the next page, so I have to fix that. Okay, cool. So this happens. I catch little errors like this as we go through because I'm streaming live. I'm on high alert, of course, trying to keep myself from self-detonating and like saying something stupid. So I listen to the things I say. However, when they we're gonna have to replace that. We can't keep Solzu here, so I'm gonna mark it out. When they scouted the region and discovered the cultist plan, right? So, however, when they scouted the region and discovered the small settlements, the necromancers changed their plans. Now the cultists kidnap families, and the mercenaries have orders to intimidate the villagers from approaching the manifest zone. While the ritual is performed, alchemists lured from Aether Academy harvest alien plants and soil flourishing within the manifest zone, processing them into material components, toxins, and elixirs to supply powerful arcanists that can afford and capitalize on, who can afford to capitalize on such materials, such as other sects of the Emerald Claw or the 12. And the 12, we're just dropping names right now, but we mentioned the 12 further down in the document again. Blank page. What the necromancers don't know is that the eye will transform the caster, will transform the ritual caster into a Yugoloth daemon to further the ends of Mabar as payment for performing the ritual. If the ritual fails, the manifest zone collapses and the transformed caster will kill everything within the manifest zone, eventually leaving to cause further havoc. If the ritual succeeds, the manifest zone is restored to full strength. A permanent portal opens between Eberron and Mabar, and the Yugoloth will lead a demonic army into... we should eliminate that and just go with leads. A demonic army into Karnath. We might actually have the space for Karnath to fit there. All right, so we'll have some edits before the day's done. Actually, let's go in here real quick. This is fun. You'll enjoy this. This is part of the process. So I'm going to open the current document, and we're going to go in and make these spot checks now so that I don't have to worry about forgetting about them later. So where did we see that? That was on just page 2 alone. Super. When they there we go, we got that resolved. So then, was that the only... Okay, we got through the first column without any mistakes. We can afford to capitalize on such materials. then over here, the ritual caster. Oh, I was right. Hell yes. And the Yugoloth leads a demonic army into Karnath. Period. Oh, look at that. I got rid of that Hating Widow. That's so choice. I has a pride. I has a pride. All right, we'll hit save there. And we'll drop this out of the way. We can take this text here. Oh, wait. Oh, we're supposed to do it like this. We're going to copy. We're going to cut, paste. Align that text so we know our true space. And then we place that so we have the proper page placement. Okay, so this is the space that we have available. This is a really good opportunity for me to make splash art of some sort. So I am interested. I don't know what Ader Academy looks like, and I'm wondering if there is any official illustrations of it. Ader Academy. Terra Morley. Well, that kind of looks like an illustration. Let's jump over to here and let's open up images. I'm not seeing a lot of Ader Academy stuff here. I have no idea what that's all about. That looks like a negative Space Ghost. Let's see what we have going on down here. Lots of commercials. Lots of commercials. Any image? How about map of Ader Academy? No, I did not mean Arthur Academy. Thank you, though. That's a great question. Here's Ader. This is some of the research that we do in this world. So, what does this button do? Lead me back to this crap. Open image in a new tab. Huh. Okay, I mean, I guess that gives us a color. I mean, if there is no illustration for it, we'll just fill in. We'll just make up something. And if seriously, if there's anyone out there that knows of like what Ader Academy actually looks like, I am more than happy to depict it. Well, that looks big. Shout out to whoever who made this map. Casa Terrio. Okay, right on, my dude. Let's open image in a new tab. I hate Reddit. Huh. All right, well, I'm gonna have to copy it and get out of the way. My mouse doesn't work sometimes so good. Vomp. Burp. It's very much a pyramid. We have a scale somewhere around here. Show me your scale. Got the stereo, my guy. This is looking good. This looks like Incarnate, I think. Maybe it's I don't know. Maybe they do it by hand. This has got to be Aether Academy because I don't see anything else that looks well, I guess this could be Aether Academy. Yeah, I don't know what that ziggurat is. Maybe maybe I'm wrong there. Maybe the I don't know enough about Aether. I do know it had that black stone, or whatever this is, the red stone that we were looking at in the other illustration. So let's go back to that real quick and use that as a point of reference and see if we can come to any conclusions. The undead producer of Karnath from the Eberron D&D city, heavily influenced by a nearby Bavar manifest zone as a light in the middle of the sea. There's the imposing Crimson Monastery. Okay, so the to the east side, there's the Aether Academy center. Okay, so glad I asked. Let's see, Joseph, Patreon. Okay. So the correct answer to this question is this is Aether Academy. Community. Okay. Wall. I don't know what these decor are on top of the tower. I'll have to ask. I will have to ask. I want to keep these windows open so I can drop that request into the Eberron Discord server. Ask anyone if they know what it is that we're talking about here. But in the meantime, let's pull that out of the way and go back into here. So I'm going to put that down as a reference. There we go. Otherwise, get it out of the way. We can have probably a dragon or some shit. And we can get rid of that stuff now that we fixed it. Cool. This is just my initial thought of Aether. Okay, so just like I gotta start someplace. So topographically, I'm just starting at the location. I'm considering the placement here. Like if this were to be like this, I can have this. I don't. So here's the fun thing. I want the information, the text of the document to be able to fit inside of one column, so you can absorb one thought at a time. While like this is the 10 by 17 space. This is the 10-inch tall, 5.5-inch wide space that that one column sits in. So when you're looking at your phone vertically, it's going to align basically with the shape. It'll actually be just like that. So like a pinch of the top and bottom margin gets nicked. But like with the like with icons and stuff, like for at the bottom of your mouse to navigate on your phone, to actually navigate on your phone, zooming in a touch like this, and you have to thumb down a little bit to have your icons pop up. So this actually is perfect placement. So go like that. So the information I want to have one column at a time, And then you drop to the next column, you absorb that information, and then here, oh, there's not a lot of information on this page. That's a quick read. But I want to leave the rest, so of the rest of the document can have a single, like mural style illustration spill across all 3 pages, just as an artistic thing. So I have to figure out how I'd want to depict that. I was really hoping that Aether Academy was some scraggly mountain Hogwarts sort of stereotypical thing that's high in the mountains that I'd be able to have oversee down here into a tapestry of like forestry and stuff like that. And since we're talking about the Emerald Claw here, we could have like cultists like this, and we have cultists like villagers being captured or something like that, and then the eye here looming, so it's like a symbolic page with, or maybe not like the eye, maybe like up here like this. It's like he's overseeing things. And then there's the manifest. There's the portal that they open here within the manifest zone, which is like coming across like this smokiness, and then have legions of demons marching forth from it. You have like crystals and stuff like this. A harvesting operation here. Like that was kind of the thought process. Or like chemists over here, like messing around with chemicals and stuff, and like making things. Maybe that instead of the villagers. No. Probably have that down here like that. Like alchemists over here, and Emerald Claw here, stealing away from Aether Academy with the artifact. Environment and the villagers. Like, ooh, we could just have we could have Aether here. Instead, just have a little provincial town. Emerald Claw here, transitioning from here to here. I like that. This seems to be the flow of the piece, like that. It's like here's a section, and here's a section. I feel like Candyland, you know, maneuvering around the page like this. That's kind of cool. So we have okay, great. So I am enjoying this process. This is super fun. Let's increase the size here. So we have a single piece here, and then we have I think I'm gonna have this like spill across like that, and then we have this here, and then we got the village here. We have the chemical processing here, and we have the Legion here, and the eye is here. So like these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 separate little vignettes depicting the different narrative elements for this piece. So Aether Academy. We want to have here Emerald Claw cultists stealing here, the village here, Aether Academy alchemists here working with material, and then the Legion here. We have to pay attention to our margins.
Aider, Claw, Village, Math, I, Army. Yeah, brief summary of what's going on with the adventure. There you go. So that's the gist of it. So that's our scrap there, and yeah, I just want to doodle some stuff here just to get a feel for this. I want to transition. Here's the eye. We'll see more of the eye in Appendix 2 and Part 3 and Appendix 2. And of course the text is going to block most of it. I'm just creating the object. The reason it takes 46 days is because that's the that's how long the cycle of Sephiroth is. Sephiroth is the moon that corresponds to the plane of Mabar, and so you begin the ritual on a full moon, and it ends again once the moon has gone through in a complete cycle and becomes new again. Or sorry. Yeah, full moon through full moon, because the planes are always strongest when their corresponding moon is full. Although with Mabar, it might be it might be ironic and sensible to instead have it be when it's new, when it's blackened. But that's just I guess just a charming inconsistency. Because on the cover we'd already hold on. See, we already have the eye established here with the Moon of Sephiroth, so we're trying to link that cover. See, the purpose of that is here you'll automatically have that connection. So we're already talking about the eye, and this is the eye, and now on the cover you identify, oh, this is the eye. So that's an important narrative point that that I wanted to achieve. So right off the bat, establishing the importance of what's going on. And the way I'm kind of building this right now, like this forest here, I want to kind of bleed into the eye and fade out into it. Kind of a Eye of Sauron vibe I feel like we got going on here, but I'm okay with it for now. Darkness. I feel like let's get some flying monsters coming from here. Legions of undead coming forth. Nice. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's tilt this down. This curve effect, like it's looking down. I like that. How are we looking on time? 7:48. Okay. Yeah. Legions of monsters coming out. Careful about bleeding into this area here because I want to have this marked off as crystals and stuff that are being harvested. Get the village here. Maybe we need to have it feels right here. Kind of like that. sky. Fading into... Oh, God, I really just want to have like this little... We're figuring it out. Replacing elements. We're seeing how things fit together. We need to have the eye here. Someone's stealing away with the eye here. Looking back over their shoulder since they're stealing from it. If we're gonna have like chemists and stuff like that, maybe we should have like some sort of a scale transition here. Alchemists over here messing around with chemicals and stuff, and the person's hanging out with them over here and like experiment shit like that. A bunch of crystals. So maybe we take these guys, we drop them there, and we take this and we make them more here like that. Sure we pay attention to our borders here. That feels right. There, I'm gonna have like a little village. I need to get this village figured out for over here. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I would like the positioning of this stuff more if this was up here like that, and this block of text here was actually down here instead. I think I like that better. Let's go back to the document. Because this is how we do. After catastrophic event, depleted the region of planar energy, the facility was shut down. And its location was buried within the archives. Okay, I'm fine with that hanging widow there like that. Yeah, I think this actually lines up nicely. There. No, I don't need to. Yeah, there we go. We're going to save that. Okay, cool. So that's good. And we'll get that out of the way. I'll go back to here. And we have that hanging bit. Merge down. Relock. Good call. Can I have this impose itself more? I kind of want it like being like a feeling of imposing. That's too high. It's invading the space of the village, and I want to tilt it some. Skew. And then free transform to tilt. There we go. Village effect here. Okay, this is too imposing. So I need to reel that in a bit. Campus, stuff like that. Stuff. Be a bad idea like this. Farmhouses here, something like that, maybe. Hey, thanks for the timely timer there, buddy. How are we looking on time? Ooh, shit, 8 o'clock. All right. I'm going to have to bounce for now. We're going to be back tomorrow morning, and we're going to just be, well, right now we're not completing these pieces. We're just sketching out ideas and just letting it sit a little bit so it can start percolating in my head. So we went through the process of getting the document put together, pulling references, and then the design process and walkthroughs. So when we come back tomorrow, we'll continue probably like we'll just start laying in like the next page and then the next page, and we'll just keep pushing through pages. And then if this goes well, we'll pick up another chunk from the back end of the document and drop it down, and we'll start doing the same. So we're starting off with sketches into the book to see how things fill it, and we'll continue from there. So, all right, I'll see you guys. I should be back tonight. I'm not sure when I'm going to start tonight, but I will be around this evening to continue with Martial Powers. We're going to continue working on monster templates. So, yeah, stick around, like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. See you guys later. Cheers.